I'm just laughing at your song choice today.
I mean, I just want to say, every week that we do a song, I'm always like, how can you not? How can you not love this? I mean, Diana Ross in the 70s.
How am I supposed to
Everything.
work after that? Like, I don't want to, I just want to get up and dance.
Everything.
It is everything.
I will say, very underrated song. The Boss is a bomb. That is a great song. It is a great song. Gets me all kinds of going and whipped up. If you've not listened to my Spotify 50th birthday playlist, it's on there. That playlist is killer.
Bomb.
Killer playlist. Gosh, you got to go search that. My 50th birthday, which was...
Listen, last night we had Wind Down Wednesday at the house.
Ooh.
And all of us, I have a video. We all thought we could dance. Last night, all of a sudden, like we were breaking it down. Frightening.
So wine, not WHINE, but...
Well, I mean...
Because I was going to say, Todd's really good at that part. If you were doing W...
There was a little of that.
I mean, he would be at the table going, and then, it's just...
He was like, we're having friends over. And he has to go clean the house. And I'm like, you don't have to clean the house.
Listen, I'm having people over. It's so funny you're saying this. So I'm stressing my executive producer out as well, because Friday night, this weekend, tonight starts the NFL kickoff weekend, right? Like tomorrow night is Eagles versus Packers, right? Friday night game. And those that don't know, in the Baldino household, I have one son who is really my best buddy in the whole world, but a monster disappointment because he is a Packers fan, not an Eagles fan. And so it's like, it's on, right, for tomorrow night. And so we're inviting people. I'm inviting people over. Let me just change that. I'm inviting people over to watch the game, right? And Kathy is like, wait, what? Because we're having our entire, because we're in Florida, we're having our lanai cleaned and sealed and all.
See, we cause our
patio in other parts of the country. So all of the patio furniture, everything had to be taken off of the lanai because obviously they've got to clean and seal it for a couple of days. So all of this furniture is like in our living room, and I'm having all these people.
The lanai that goes to the Florida room.
Speaking of lanai.
The lanai. Let's step out to the lanai.
I mean, so we're having people coming over, and they're going to walk in straight into like the porch swing and all this stuff that we've dragged into the. She's gonna be like, our house. I don't care.
I know, same. It's like, it's fine. I got, somebody sent me something yesterday because, I am a Cowboys fan because it's America's team and God's team.
I want to just say that's offensive that they're allowed to call themselves America's team.
I know.
Don't understand that.
It's really great. Somebody sent me something with somebody trying to work on their lawnmower, and it wasn't my neighbor that time, and put a sticker, and they say, here, now it'll always choke.
Wow.
We're doing that already.
By the way, those of you that didn't know, when just as Jackie is coming on for us this morning, as we're ready to go live, her neighbor has to, turn on the blower and take care of all the leaves right now. It's
like
our life.
Literally, it's on Thursdays. Literally on Thursdays, they do the yard work.
I mean,
not any other day. And it's right on the other side of the fence.
Oh my gosh. It's so annoying. Good morning, by the way, everybody. We see a whole bunch of people saying,
good morning. I have a new computer, by the way. So if you hear like weird things, I'm still trying to make everything work.
You just made a hand gesture and you got the bubbles that popped up. I don't know if you saw that.
What
yes. I don't know. Middle finger, I think it was. Kyra, look at this. Kyra is sending David Noe a LinkedIn connection request. Isn't that awesome? David, don't accept it, David. Keep a distance. I am pumped that we're talking about HR and TA talking to the business. I'm so pumped because it has been a thing over the past few days. If you had been on Robin and I, and those of you that don't know Robin Schooling, another person to connect to, please connect to Robin Schooling. She's wonderful. She's probably not watching. She'll say it's because she's working. Don't believe it.
No, absolutely not.
But I mean, the two of us had this chat yesterday. I was all kinds of whipped up because part of this speaking to the business now, I got to listen to, I think it was 3 videos over Labor Day weekend of I'm just going to say lesser experienced people. I'm not saying no experience. Okay. Lesser experienced people in the areas of discipline that we speak to, that were doing 2 things. One, sort of just making everything as easy peasy as possible. Listen, we need more pay, better benefits, and a lot more perks.
On it.
Then everything will be fine. Oh, that's all it takes? My gosh, why didn't any of us old people think of this before?
That's right.
The way to make this
Maybe
work?
We should have a pizza party.
Like, you want recruiting to go better? Let me pay them whatever they want. Let me give them whatever benefits they want and perks. Oh, gosh, why didn't we put that together decades ago?
P.S. It's not going to work.
It's like there's a budget and we actually need to keep the doors open, like
business.
And some of it, the second thing was slipped into, I'm being tongue in cheek, but slipped into people in the past haven't done the work they needed to and left us with the mess that we're dealing with now. Now,
you went there.
I was like, the sleeves were rolled up. I'm like, come say this to my face.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes, Brian Fink. Who are you calling old? I was like, I'm sorry, what? Of course, we don't say old. We use safe terminologies. We talked about the generations, right? What the boomers and Xers have left us with, that the Ys and Zs now have to deal with. I'm sorry, that smells like ageism. But we
Mandy, not just pizza, the cheap stuff, Domino's.
Seriously, cardboard with some mozzarella on top. Yes, let's do it.
That Jeans Friday.
I know Kyra's right, because she heard me say some of this yesterday too. All kinds of aggression. I was yesterday ready to take on the world, and I just don't know what we're doing in terms of helping our profession be ready to talk to the business. Because if we walk into a CFO and say, "Can I just have more money to pay people more money? And can I just have better benefits? Can we, instead of charging them this per month?"
They still don't know. The challenge is people don't look at it as a cost center, and it's stupid. Look, go at me, bro.
It's
stupid for you not to make the investment in people. It's literally the core. It is the answer on whether you're going to be able to do this effectively or not. And yet people just want to piss off the people. Like, I have a better idea. How about you just become a better manager, keep the people you have, grow them?
What?
No? Okay.
Why are you this crazy talk? What is the matter with you?
Like, right. Like, literally, because none of us, we were all super micromanaged, and we're so like
lots of scars.
If you're talking generationally. So we don't know how to manage. I literally look at things. I think I told you on Lattice one time, and it was like, you haven't given somebody feedback in a while. I was like, well, then talk to them, not me. Why do I need a reminder?
Right. I sent them the middle finger emoji. What? That's feedback.
What do you mean? If they did better work, I would be full into it.
I don't want to talk to them anymore. Don't make me.
Lattice, could you just send them a text that says, you're fired? You can just handle that.
Pack your things, boo-boo skidoo.
Pack your things, not your things, because I need it to relate and be in my tone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's relate.
Chat GPT. Can you write me a termination
cool
letter?
HR. I'm the cool HR. Jenny Stone did a session at HR Florida a couple weeks ago, and she was like, "I'm going to be the cool HR person, like doing Mean Girls." It was hilarious.
Listen.
And yes, Bruce, People just want to piss off the people. Yes, that is a great book title. I totally agree with Bruce. But the truth of the matter is, and again, I'd love to hear. I love all these folks that are here today. My gosh,
I
great!
know.
I love all of these folks. Like, what is happening in your organizations? I'd love for you to put it in the chat regarding financial considerations, the economics of America. And I'm just going to talk about the US right now because
That's right.
global can be a little bit of a different beast. But if you're a US based company or primarily doing most of your hiring in the US, what are the economic considerations that you're sitting down and discussing with your finance team, with your business owner or C-suite leadership, whatever role you're in? Like, is there any of that kind of discussion happening? Because when my concern is, when HR walks into the room or TA walks into the room and says, look, y'all, if you want me to have better people that work here, you got to let me pay them a whole lot more and let me give them whatever benefits we can give them to my discretion because you're all holding me back. That sounds very immature. And I
That's right.
worry that we then are perceived as, oh, here comes HR. All of their problems will be solved if we give them a bunch of money. Like I know we don't mean to do that, but sometimes that's how it comes across.
I feel like it is, I think, like, remember who was that? Like, it takes a village. I don't think what people understand.
Hillary Clinton, that was her
Yeah,
book,
that was
wasn't it?
Hillary. Yeah, it was Hillary Clinton. I wasn't going to mention that until after.
We're allowed to say her name.
Say
Just
my
can't,
name,
just can't
Hillary.
say it 3 times in a row.
Stop it. Stop. You know what? So I'm not going to say it again. My challenge is
Sorry.
it. What? So if you're not in talent acquisition or recruiting, you might not know that there are different types of recruiters. There are specialty recruiters, there are executive recruiters, or outsource recruiters, yada, yada, yada. When we have these critical roles, what hasn't aligned, and this has never aligned in the a million years that I've been doing this job, is the market, the impact that the tools for candidates and recruiting, the impact that that has on recruiting and sourcers and the amount of work that it takes. Like, it hasn't been into consideration that literally you can say, hey, SIRI, apply for 25 jobs. Like,
Yeah.
that it's that easy to be able
Yes.
to do it.
Yeah.
And that it affects who I have to go through, or that ChatGPT customize this resume to make them look like they fit for my organization and I have to dig in and do more. Like, the job has just gotten more challenging. And the fear is you can either automate that process and high risk lose candidates because if you don't know, like, if you've never heard of it, the odds are whatever automation tool, they don't know what that is. So you risk that. Or you can, I love being able to utilize agencies. I cannot utilize agencies. And the cost that it takes right now in going through and pre-screening and trying to save time everywhere else, it's just worth the investment. The more eyes that we can get, the more qualified, because we don't look at it as the pre-sales movement. Recruiting is pre-sales to any organization.
Yep.
Because it's the people that are there, it's the influence on the tool that you're building or whatever you're producing and whatever you're trying to sell. Like, all of those things come into play. And we don't look at making the investment in the future of the organization. And so they're like, well, what do we pay you for? Why do we pay you?
Oh my gosh.
What do we pay you for? You're the recruiter. It's like, well, then you're going to have to wait.
That is all. Like, my response, and I will, let me make sure I balance this. I do understand that response sometimes because, unfortunately, we do have some people who are holding recruiting positions that don't really recruit. I get that, but that's a performance thing. That's not an indictment on all recruiters. You just need to talk to that particular recruiter. But when someone says, well, that's your job, what are you doing? Well, that would be like we're owning a restaurant and hiring a chef who says, I need someone to be a sous chef, a garde manger,
right.
and your response to the chef is, well, what do you do? You're the cook.
No, you're paying me to make sure that we have the best product possible. And so
Right.
you're paying me to make sure that the people that do get into that first layer, like, are people that are going to be able to move forward our agenda. And so regardless, and I've said this for years too, when people say, oh, I don't want to hire people for culture fit, yes, you do. And you want to make sure that your culture is representative of your organization. And so, because, or otherwise, you need a line item in your budget for bad hiring practices, because you're going to
Yes,
have to, just a revolving
because
door.
it's
You
going to be
don't
a
want to do it right
liability.
the first time.
Yes, yes. And my concern is we don't do the way we should when it comes to, I'm going to just pick on the budget thing you just said. Start there. I don't think we do a great job being able to speak to the business when it comes to budgeting. We say, well, let's do compensation analytics. Up, look at the benchmarking. People with this role, look at what they're making, and look at that. And I'm not, I do comp benchmarking, so obviously I believe in it. That's not what I'm saying, but it is a piece of information that goes into the overall conversation. I can say, yeah, we need to pay this person $175,000 a year for that particular role, but if the budget can't support more than 130,000, then we've got to change our expectation for that role. We can't hire that then, or we're going to hire somebody who maybe is a bit less than what the job duties and responsibilities really are. Let's talk through what that's going to look like, the cost, to your point, that'll be incurred having someone who's less qualified for the work that needs to be done. What will that do to time costs, to performance related costs, to
That's
market penetration related issues? I mean, there's a lot to consider. It can't just be one thing that we run into these meetings with and are like, oh, I have the one answer. It never can be that
But
way.
also, here's I think what is interesting is that everyone thinks they understand what a recruiter does.
They recruit.
Okay. And
Next question.
right, like I know. I feel like
I'll
I
take
owe my candidates a
swords for
conversation.
800.
That's,
That's
I'll
S
take
word.
things that people get glaringly wrong for 1,000, Alex. Oh, God bless
Oh,
Alex. Oh,
moment. Okay. We missed Alex.
listen, Brian, no, we will not be live from Wreckfest as a pair.
As a pair, I will be at Wreckfest. Jackie, well, the
John,
jury's out. She
he'll do
may
the
be
swag
abducted.
report.
She may be abducted. I'm hearing that there are going to be UFO sightings in Waco next week that transport people to Tennessee. That's what I've heard. It's all on the interwebs. Look it up.
On the interwebs. I was, in my old age, I can't be at all the places.
You don't want to be.
My back.
Then it really is like wine Wednesday, wine Thursday,
wine Wednesday, wine Thursday,
wine
wine
every
Friday.
day.
Listen,
I'm super excited for Wreckfest next week because of some of these conversations. And there are some, in all seriousness, brilliant people that are going to be there next week. I mean, all kinds of folks. But this is a real issue for us. We don't have enough people. I get it. I know the numbers. I'm not taking away from that. But if we make our leverage point with talent only financially related, that's heavily transactional, and we're going to have a problem long term treating people just like that. You know what
I mean? This happens. So Textio, if you know about the company that I work for. So there's a couple of things that we do, but when you're looking at the impact on the business, just from normal conversations and how poorly it can go, right?
Yes.
Like you have to make really wise investments. Like, I don't know why it's not a mystery. The success or the demise of a business is based on its people. And so why are you making it like we can't cut corners from the beginning of the process? And it's really indicative of the organization that you're at. Like for recruiters, you have to be worried about it, because if when they aren't making the investment in you,
Yep.
I don't know how you can then, if you don't make the investment in finding the top people. And I literally sick to death of CFOs saying, oh, we don't hire anymore, so we don't need to do anything. We don't need to invest in recruiting. Are you freaking kidding me? It's the only time that you can clean house in this moment and be ready to set the platform, because when the spigot comes on, you're going to be drinking from a fire hose and
Oh
there's
my
nothing you can
gosh,
do.
you said spigot. I adore you. I mean, I don't know how I can love you anymore.
Is it not called a spigot? Am I dumb? Did I say something?
No, I mean, in Philly, it's a spigot. It's not a spigot in a lot of places in this country, just so you know. And so when I would say turn on the spigot, people are like, the faucet?
Spigot.
Spigot, thank you. But the 100% true. Look, one of the realities that some companies have right now, and this is going to sting, and I apologize in advance. I love everyone, really, I do.
Lies.
Lies. The wait. So I will not have a nice day. There are people in CFO roles that, quite frankly, aren't ready to be CFO. I mean, I want to be honest, right? They're not ready to be CFO, but we've promoted them into this. And so now, because of that, we've leveraged them into a corner because they haven't been built up to be ready to transition from full charge bookkeeper to controller to VP of finance to CFO, whatever your progression is. We haven't really invested in this person. That now we have forced that person into a corner of transactional mindedness only.
Say that louder. That is
Only,
the truth.
right? And so they're going to beat you up about math all day long in terms
And
of you can't
they don't,
spend, you can't
that's why
spend,
they're
you can't
separate
spend.
departments. I don't understand why we allow finance people to make decisions about the humans in our organization. Like, the most insulting thing is to go into a room. This is that whole seat at the table thing. To go into the room, and when they look at you and say, we're gonna have to cut it by 30% HR.
Yeah.
Well, then go do that.
And it's now let me give you the other side. Let's give the other side. Some of
Fair,
our
balanced,
organizations,
impartial. We
we
love
are
it.
balanced and impartial, right? I need a cigarette. The and I would love to hear from people, because the reality is some of your organizations are down for sure as far as top line revenue is concerned.
But
You,
but they need to tie those things like we talked about way before. When
yep,
you give those benefits and perks, you should be able to put that and tie that to productivity. If it does not work, then take it out.
yes, then take it out. And look, I don't want us to be foolish. This is kind of, the premise that we started with today, right? About foolishness. If I know that my organization's top line revenue is down 18%, that
Right.
means just top line, we are
Right.
selling product or selling service 18%
That's
than
right.
either where we planned on being or compared to last year, however you're doing it. That is, those are real numbers. I'm not arguing that. So when you walk into a room knowing that this is a factor, we're down 18% in top line revenue, and I come in with 25% increased spending that I'm looking for as the CHRO,
That's right.
let's say overseeing TA and HR benefits, all of it. I'm going to come into that room and say that and come across as tone deaf. How dare you come in here and ask for 25% increase in spend when we're trying to keep the lights on, being 18% down in top line revenue? Be wise about how you're walking into a room like that. I'm not saying not to ask for a portion of that budget to spend on some of these things. It's not what I'm saying. But sometimes we just walk in and say, well, here's what I need. If not, we're just going to lose people. That's
And
just how
that's
it is.
right.
That's not business related.
And
That
also,
sounds
like,
emotional.
don't hesitate to go back to your vendors that you're using and
Oh yes.
say, hey, I need to increase
Yep.
engagement. Does this tool have anything on the roadmap or does anything? And I don't care how silly it seems, because a lot of times, part of the reason why you get denied is because you want a freaking ADP and a workday
Your
and
bubbles to
a,
skim up. It's the thumb. It's the
it's
thumb.
at the thumb.
You did that, and bubbles came
I
up.
don't see no bubbles.
They just went away. Maybe it needs a rest.
Maybe it's the hamster. But I mean, people, or they'll say, I want Bamboo and Gusto and Workday and ADP and all these things. And they're like, we just bought 5 payroll products for you without you
Yes.
understanding what those things do. Like, and it's like, that's where the CFO or people in finance can step in and be like, no, I'm
Yep.
going to need you to use whatever products, internal survey, because that's what we're using, period.
Yep.
Right? Those are the things. Oh, Talia's here. Hi, Talia.
Hey, Talia. That's the only word, spigot. Thank you, Talia. I'm so glad you're here.
But I mean, that
Yes.
makes sense. But at the other part that you have to remember is that humans are the cause of whatever thing that's going on, but it's not because of like the number of people isn't what's causing the problems in the organization.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like adding more people make us a better product, and having less people is going to help, because you really need to start looking at root causes and understanding a little bit more of organizational design and how these departments interact. Because my favorite is when they say, let's cut DEIB. Oh, and we need to increase engagement. Okay, but we don't care about including people, equity, or belonging.
Yeah.
And you want me to make people smile. Okay, again, pizza party and jeans on Friday.
That's what it is. It's a pizza party. That's it. Unlimited PTO, that again, research continues to show is used less than if you have an accrued related.
I feel really guilty. I've got to get my hair done. And I'm like, I feel really bad about getting my hair done.
Why? You have to keep up appearances. We have a very successful webcast. Get that hair done.
We don't have to go camera. We can totally.
No, our facial expressions are what sells the show. Are you kidding me?
Also, is our demise for our whole life.
Well,
dang those pesky kids.
If you're, I mean, you just said it by giving a specific example, but your objectives as an organization, let's not forget those. That has to be considered with what budget items we're going to wind up asking to be cut. So exactly to your point, we want better engagement. Let's cut everything that is inclusion related within the organization. Let's cut the people that are equity minded. I'm sorry.
Stop threatening managers for being good managers. Because I hate it when people say, I can't fire anybody because what if I don't get headcount back? Yeah, but you've got a big goose egg and this person's stealing money from the organization.
Oh my gosh, the headcount thing has always been fascinating.
How do you tie that? Like, that makes no sense. That's
enterprise organizations. Yeah, like the Jim won't let me have that headcount back. First of all, why is Jim allowed to play like Game of Thrones with the department headcount? How did this happen? Right?
And like why? And managers don't manage out. That's the other part. Is like let's talk about that too. Because the impact, like, I don't think people also look at the direct impact of the culture that you've created in the organization by keeping these shitty people here.
Yeah.
Now this is what the culture is, and I have to hire into that department, right? And we're looking at the core competencies, and this person gets this amount, and you want to pay this amount, and but the competencies and the level of work isn't the same. Like, I don't know if it's been like we've been just too cute and hush hush in HR. Like, people don't know exactly what we do.
We're not that cute. That's the problem.
Some of us are like.
But it is, I mean, honestly, that's a great word, because I think often HR amongst themselves thinks they're cute. But that's not, I have to tell you, being someone who gets invited into many organizations, which is a privilege. Absolutely. To hear their feedback on what they perceive HR to be like or TA to be like, it ain't that cuteness. That's not the first word I hear often.
And
I gotta tell you.
If you've watched our show one day, you've heard me say, people do not get into HR because they like people.
No. It's a whole lot of like, thumbs down, Spartacus, take him out kind of stuff that happens in HR, right? David, made a great, by the way, I'm reading everything as fast as I can. Thank you all.
Yes.
David said, this is so true. Companies spend so much money on platforms that they barely use. I cannot tell you how many organizations have modules that on a platform, even if they try to do an all-in-one, modules that have never been activated, and they keep paying for it. And I'm like, well, what was your goal in having the benefits administration module or the performance management module? Yeah, we wanted that to really help our team to grow and develop, or give them easy access so that they know what's covered, what's not covered. Okay, why did that go out the window? Like, that was a great premise, but now it's 2 years later. You never did it. So I guess it really didn't matter. But
let's be honest. Like, how many tools do we use on a daily basis that are 85% what you need?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
I mean,
85% is generous, honestly, I think.
I think it is generous. There's some tools that like do more than what I need. And I think, but I'm thinking about like so yesterday I've been doing a demo, like no sponsorship. There's a product called Recognize, and I have no idea how much they pay.
Oh my gosh. Can we be the spokespeople? Because we're all, can you imagine us? You better recognize. If we got to do, that thing would sell.
I'll ask them. I'll try. I've been talking to them. I love the product so much.
What does it do?
So what they do is you can have various badges in your organization, but then you can put them to, you can assign points to various activities to earn badges. You can nominate people internally, and it gives you a separate employee site where it's just talking about birthdays, anniversaries, and feel good things. When you have your company and I need everybody to do the employee survey, you can tie it to points when they get it done, and then they can use it at, kind of like the Mavi, where it's like you can use it at various places. So it does that part. But what I liked about it is there is still an element where people want to connect with each other, or they want to show in this remote environment. And what I was looking for was something so that when you start at the organization, you don't just see Jackie's scary title. You can say, oh, Jackie likes to knit, and Jackie likes to dance, and Jackie earned the, congeniality award, or whatever, or this is how the peers think of it. And an easier place than and it ties to all the things. We do tacos. We use lattice internally, which is one thing that's in there. But when you're a remote organization, really, one more Slack channel will absolutely put me under the edge.
I mean,
over the edge, not under the edge. Can you go under the edge?
I don't
push me over the edge. I can't.
I think you'll be over the edge.
Take it.
Yeah, and other people are mentioning Bravo. A couple of people saying that they
I don't know. I really wanted what I wanted more than just being able. I wanted people to be able to identify themselves with themselves, right?
I think recognition is such a good call out, because it is. I'm going to say again, from a line item standpoint, don't you think you can not manufacture, but create a case as to what recognition is going to do with some bottom line financial considerations? Because retention is a budgetary consideration. So when you're recognizing people, when you're building community, like what you're talking about with this software or Bravo, or there's WorkHuman, there's recognition, there's a bunch of stuff out there, right? And they're great. That helps to sort of build a case to say, look at what we've kept people, a year longer than what our average was 2 years ago before we used this, right? Because we're building community, and there's cost savings there.
I just want people, I think what's important to note is that it's beyond recognition, right? I don't want, look at this, how it's cutting off.
What happened?
If you look at the pad, it's cutting off. It's weird.
I don't know. It's the most powerful tool I see in the workplace. Yeah, Dave, I don't know why I cut you off here, but weird. Can you share what he said? Does it cut it off if you share it at the bottom?
Let me see.
No. There you go, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Welcome. Hi, Dave. It's not about just recognizing each other. It's being able to identify myself, right? Like
Huh?
it is being able to say like, I'm a Gen Xer, I'm this, so that we can identify in the way that I recognize. It's not a recognition, even though I love recognition. And my strengths finder, my number one is competition, which means I love to win. And
Yes.
part of winning is like acknowledgement of that win. If you're do strengths finders,
That's
whatever.
like how the way you like to win or you like to see people lose. That's the thing about
Which is
that.
the other part. I had to explain to somebody. They're like, "That's great." I was like, "It's not really. Let me explain to you what this means. Someone has to lose, and it's not going to be me."
Conference season, Jackie, John, Robin, Katie at a table in the cocktail area, hotel bar. We are going to place bets on the observations we have around the room of the people trying to get busy with one another and who's striking out.
Yes, we'll put the money in the middle.
Yes.
Listen, pick
Yes.
one
Yep.
night to sit back and,
Yep.
what is it? If you don't have anything nice, come sit next to us
Yes.
and we'll take bets. And
We
the
do
winner,
really well too, I have to say. We're usually pretty spot on
pretty
as
good.
to like who's going to work out and who's not going to work out. We're pretty good.
Sometimes you have to wait.
Katie's too nice. She's like, "Oh, I hope so. That would be nice for them." No, wouldn't
No.
be nice for them. Wouldn't be nice for them.
Look at Kyra. Ew.
Ew. Listen, y'all. Conference season, mating season is how it's referred to in some parts of the country. I'm just going to say.
Disgusting. But we are going to put the money in there. We got to work. Maybe, we need shirts for HR tech. Maybe we need But First Coffee. Would y'all want a But First Coffee shirt or something to identify that you, to find other But First Coffee listeners? Let us
You
know
have to
in the
see,
next
I don't know
couple
if
of
I can
days.
put it in here. Wait till you see the Jamie, I don't know if you're still listening. I don't know if you can put it into the chat, that image. Wait till you see the t-shirts from Humoriso at HR Tech that will be rocking. They're awesome. They're awesome.
Listen.
We got two of them actually that are
I
awesome.
love what
One is in the swag store, by the way. You can go on our site. One is already in there so that you can purchase it in advance.
I'm going to bring my sneakers too, my Humoriso sneakers.
Yes. The one shirt is touching your tech since 2012. I mean, I'm obsessed with that shirt.
Don't tell anybody from Textio because, we do about feedback. And it was like, it says like emotional and difficult.
Is that for me?
Stickers where it says emotional and difficult. I'm emotional and difficult.
I mean, I should have that shirt. Yeah. I was all about it. Dave, I think in the Humoriso swag store, there is a But First Coffee mug that's there for you. You can pick that one up as well in that store. Jamie, if you're paying, Jamie must be asleep.
Jamie listen, he should get a demerit. How's he going to be our producer? And then
you all don't know, before we started, he had a whole lot to tell us telling us how to do our jobs.
And also, Dave, I am a Starbucks addict. I think I went through the drive-through. So I see Leah at 3:00. And when I go, and that's a bad sign. So when I saw Leah, I said, "Leah, do you put crack in this coffee?" She goes, "I don't know, but I'll see you tomorrow."
I love
now,
that.
As you saw by my shirt, I live in small town Waco.
You got to mirror the thing again. Why do you keep messing with the camera?
Listen, I am the grandma. I literally, you have to tell me everything.
Kyra, you can still get the Performance Reviews barf shirt, just so you know. Jamie has a day job. Who you kidding?
Jamie said that about himself.
Yes.
Jamie, is that how you're referring to yourself, Jamie? Jackie has a job too.
I don't know what that
snapping
means.
Back at Jamie is my job. So I live in this little town. So when I go to Starbucks in the afternoon and I see Leah's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Because I'm like, that means that the morning coffee did not work. And I'm a Starbucks addict. And it doesn't matter if I'm in Philly, if I'm in Seattle and I'm in coffee, I will be close to the finest Arabica beans, handpicked.
Oh,
and I'm like, "May I please have a flat white. And people are like, Jackie, that's the grossest.
Here's
And I
my
can't.
problem with flat whites, which is a great call out as well to speaking to the business. Why don't they fill the cup with flat whites? I don't understand
I
this.
don't know either. But it
Don't
also means
tell
I
me
should
I'm
talk to my
ordering a
therapist.
grande. That thing would fit. The grande flat white would fit into a tall cup. I'm offended
You're
because
right.
you're not charging me for a tall. You're charging me for a grande.
The
So
grande, that's why when I get a grande, it's a tall.
it's not enough. I don't know who they think they're fooling. I open up the lid and I'm like, it's
And
a
they never do
third
it.
down. It's a third of the cup down
That's right.
before I get to the liquid.
I love flat whites. If you see me and it's coffee, it's a flat white or a latte. And if it's a cocktail, it's a Corona
It says a whole lot about you, just
or
so you know that you go after flat whites. I
or a
just want,
vodka soda. Those are the only. I'm
or
cold
a
brew.
Corona. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, that's all I. Yeah,
that's
not very exciting.
very very simple.
Very
I
simple.
I don't know what it's like for some organizations, but it's September. My guess is budget season is upon us. Less organizations seem to
What?
be doing the July 1st to June 30th fiscal
Gross.
year. So many of them are doing calendar year.
Yes. Don't
So
forget, it's
I
well.
would think it's time. You need to get your numbers ready. Get your numbers ready.
Get your
Metric.
numbers ready. Yep. Get your numbers because y'all know what else happens. I don't even. You know what? You should hug your HR people because it pisses me off. This is the worst time of year for HR. Besides all the conferences we got to go to and making sure we've done analysis and we know what software we need, we also know this is also the beginning of layoff season, October 1st. Let's just get real.
And it's coming, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that because I'm a naysayer.
No,
It is coming.
that's right.
Tech is struggling still. Struggling still. Some companies need to do 140% revenue in fourth quarter in order to try to break even for the year. Those are huge numbers to try to ask a company to do in one quarter. It's
Huge numbers. And the thing is that people know that, and you have to be careful with your pipeline of making sure that it's really accurate and real right now because other people are going through those things and they don't know. I mean, it's just there's a lot, and it is going to be. It's very competitive. We already know some of our friends have been looking for work for a really long time.
yes,
And
yes.
so remember that, but it's just the beginning of the season, and we don't, I love what Kyra said. Look at what Kai said. In the
Yes.
middle of annual forecasting. So funny, we have to submit budgets in Q3, but we don't know company priorities until Q1. Where is the wine?
Kai, that's so
It
true.
is so true. It's like,
Again
let's start with
and
this.
again.
Am I going to have a job? Like, let's start with that. Because they
Yeah.
want your annual budget and you'll do it. And then that's the rub, right? They'll say, oh, by the way, we got everybody's budgets. Yeah, no.
Or you submit a budget and it's out of touch with what those priorities wind up being.
Absolutely. It's
And
already out of touch
you didn't
because they're
know.
like,
Yeah.
your budget, that's not a priority anymore. We're cutting that. And you know me, I work at startups. So we cut that. Oh, oops. We cut that
And
last month. This
when
month we're bringing
HR
it on.
starts jumping up and down in the conference room, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Because we had no idea about these priorities, to Kai's point, but you asked me for a budget. I would have done a more thoughtful budget had I known you were adding these three
Don't
other
say
priorities.
that. That's being insubordinate.
And that exactly right. And then all of a
And
sudden
Josh,
HR is the problem.
And don't forget, open enrollment October. Listen.
Can we leave that there for a second? Josh Rock, we're so glad you're here this morning. Well done spelling enrollment correctly. I just want to
I'm
make sure
very proud by the L.
Very proud of you. Double F's in staffing. Good job, buddy. Good job.
And if you know me, you know that
He's going to be sending the middle finger
buddy. I love
emoji.
the buddy. Good job, buddy. Way to go, you Android user. It's a miracle you can spell.
Oh my gosh, you just said that. He's going to lose his mind.
And it's 110 days till Christmas.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. There goes Kai, right? They
Oh,
get
look, Dave
all
invited us to
kinds of put out.
Columbus. Can we do that?
Oh, we would love to come to
Can we go to?
Columbus.
Can we go? Dave, set it up.
Dave,
We'll come to
set it
Columbus.
up for us. Sponsor us. We are first class champagne kind of people. So please
Yeah.
make sure budget
I don't
accordingly.
want the fish or the chicken. I'll take the fish and the chicken, and then I'll let you know which one's best. I don't like making choices.
Oh my gosh, I have to do this because I don't want to forget. Hire Easy, my friends at Hire Easy. I just want to make sure. Look at this Osprey backpack that they sent me. This backpack is awesome. I'm sorry.
Listen, Hire Easy.
I'm just saying, Shannon.
Make me look at you, smiling.
I'm
like,
sorry, but it is. The backpack is on fire. It's in fuego. It's a great backpack. Have you had an Osprey backpack before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I have a hiking one. Oh, Dave's got to go. Dave said that because we said invite us to Ohio, and he's like, okay, I'm not.
See, what did I tell you Josh Rock was going to do? You see that emoji he put in there?
I know.
I told you.
Look, Dave's like, I don't know what TA is, but maybe I don't want to.
Dave, I'm so sorry, Dave. That is a very fair call out because we're obnoxious. HR, human resources, TA, talent acquisition. That was obnoxious on our part to just throw out the ever-loving HR acronyms because we love them. Love them. Alphabet soup, droid
I'm
for life.
going to give Josh's attention and his flowers because I love him. It's his only flaw. He was almost a perfect person. And then
there are going to be people who respond to that, just so you know. David, yay, we're road tripping with David.
Look up Dave when you get there.
Yes, you two need to meet. I do want to say with this business piece, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I don't want to take my foot off the gas of the technology piece. Sometimes those that are in recruitment and talent acquisition wind up being relegated to only having conversations on a practical basis around the technology. Their voices are kind of snuffed out when it comes to competitive marketplaces. So be thoughtful about how you put that together for your conversations with your senior leadership. Even if it's been like historically, they only want to hear about your numbers in the ATS. How's the ATS stuff going? Like only tech. I think you need to kind of build your deck, if that's what you do in your organization, to include things that are around the talent marketplace in a broader scope. We are still, for instance, we're still trending in the low 60-ish percentile across all jobs for passive sourcing versus active sourcing in filling jobs.
There are tools like
you got to talk about that.
I just want, that's the other part in talking to the business. Like there's not like a talent tree that you just pluck, and they don't recognize that everything has to be in alignment, especially it's a high risk right now.
Yes.
It's the devil, Someone literally had the nerve and said, have you heard of this thing called quiet quitting? And I almost like passed out. And I was like, no, tell me about
who's in there. Who's joining you?
I don't know. I heard something. It's probably the neighbor. I just want to make sure they're not like
we didn't say her name 3 times because once you do, then she appears. So I just want to make sure that
I can't. But
Beetlejuice.
People, please set Dave up and let him know about our schedule. We really need to do a better job, and I apologize in advance about how we're making people know. We do the show every Thursday at 9 a.m. And we've been posting faster, but we need to make sure that we're inviting people to come and, doing all the things, because a lot of people have asked about us, about the show, how can they get aligned? How can they find out? And so part of that is just sharing it on your site and making sure that people know. I know a lot of people like to look at it. Who sold us? They look at it on Sundays when on their walk or their hike.
Somebody
all of
was telling me
those.
on Saturday morning, they have their
Yeah.
coffee on Saturday and watch the show on Saturday mornings. That's their joy, to just be able to relax and have coffee and watch the show. Like, we love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, really
Totally.
kind. And listen, it's not just the two of us. The other thing is we have brilliant people. You all are brilliant who wind up participating and watching and throwing information in the chat. Like, people, some of you have seen this, like they're responding to you days after you put a comment in here because they're watching it later on and responding to your comment. Like, that's the design of the show. That's what we want it to be. Brian Fink, who, I don't know if Brian, if you're still here, like the man is really smart. So, like, as one example, like,
I'm
pick
sorry.
pick his brain.
I'm just laughing at Josh.
Why, these are my friends. This is what the problem is.
That is what the whole problem is. Like, literally,
But your finance person is not your friend. Let me make sure I say that. Keep
ever.
going.
I just think it's really funny when we're in our group of friends. It's the worst. They're the worst, making fun of us, teasing. They're
It's my self-esteem,
so
thank God,
grateful.
is good. I just, go in the bathroom, take my shirt off, stare at myself a little bit, and I'm like, I feel
Take a
better.
selfie, send it to the group chat.
I feel better.
True story. One day,
True story.
oh
I,
snap!
I'm telling you, Kai, we get her going. When Kyra can join, us, we fire
Listen,
her
Kai
up.
put the people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Best in the industry. We are exact.
I got to hang with Zeke at Exact last week at HR Florida. I forgot to tell Kyra this. I mean, he came to my session and was like it was so fun to have his, because he's on the vendor side, right? And hadn't really like started participating that way, and so came to like sit in on my session and was like, oh, that's what happens at like these breakouts. That's what, it was super fun. We had a great session. It was
I love
crowded. It was
that.
a good crew. Good crew. I do. Yes, Kai, I forgot to tell you. Sorry. I do want to say it is. And I know we have 5+ minutes left, but I'm not sure how everybody feels about a mentor when it comes to
Mm.
this sort of business perspective. I feel like we're in a world, and I don't know if you've seen this too, where it's risky to ask for someone to help coach and mentor you in a business approach to the work that you do if it's not a strong suit for you, because you may worry that it's going to backfire, that the organization will think you don't know what they think you should know.
I don't think you should
You
make
know
it
what I mean?
internally. Like we use Bravely
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Like shout
Yeah.
out to Bravely. I hate is a strong word,
Yeah.
but
I say loathe instead.
I loathe. I really question organizations that says we're going to build an internal mentor program. It's like, oh, it's going to work as good as your internal leadership program, which obviously isn't working, or else you wouldn't need an
Right.
internal
Our
mentoring program.
internal referral program to bring in your friends to work at the
Right.
company.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. P.S. Please sign up for the webinar that's going on from Textio this week. You can click on the QR code to sign up. I forgot that we had these. And you have to make.
I'm doing one at 1:00 today. I forgot to tell you to put a QR code up as well. I'm actually talking about how HR can talk to finance.
And that.
I forgot.
Are you?
I am.
I'm not invited to that.
I mean, Jamie, if you're still here and still working for the company, can you put the link maybe
If
in
you're
the
still here and
chat?
still working for the company, maybe you should let them know. You still work for the company.
He said he has a day job. I don't have any
Also,
idea.
put that in there. I
Yes,
always, just for
we
the other
do
one,
need mentors.
if
We do
anybody
need
else, so here's the webinar. We're also, if you're going to HR Tech,
two
text
parties.
here.
Two parties to go to.
Two parties to go to. You have to go to mine, or else I'll get
Textio,
fired.
and
And then you can go to
that's
John's.
right. You walk to Humoriso's, go to Textio's first, walk down the hall to
We'll go as
Humoriso's
a
second.
thing. And We are going to add some more things so that we can do the show. I think we should do the like buy us a cup of coffee. It makes sense. And we'll talk about the other things that we can do to make sure that we have.
First of all, if I'm at HR Tech and it's the evening, don't buy me a cup of coffee. You
Don't
can
buy
get
me
me
a cup of coffee. It's
you
a
can get me a drink,
it's
but I'm
a
not.
thing. It's a thing to sponsor the cast. But we hopefully will work with Jamie to come up with shirts because I think we should wear.
I'm telling you, you are going to, yes, Josh, I'm so there. Well, Scott, there may be coffee, but it probably will have Bailey's in it. It'll have Bailey's in it, would be my guess.
That's right. And a little whipped cream, maybe a little Frangelico.
Oh my gosh. Or Galliano. I mean, come on.
Delicious. And a little, what is that? It starts with a D. Amaretto.
Put a little amaretto. Yeah. Di Serrano.
Yeah, that's what I was like, you know,
I was like, distilled. I was trying to remember.
Dumpster fire. Dum. No, but it starts with a D.
If you, this is personal for me because I struggled with this early on in my career. I was afraid to ask people for help because I was proud, to be honest. And I felt like in some of the organizations I was working for that I was required to be proud. And I'm not saying I was wrong. I don't know that one organization I'm thinking about in particular, they didn't really look favorably upon saying I need help. But if you're in a position where you need to have someone help you to figure out how to build a business case for your discipline, whether that's talent acquisition or HR, or even more specifically, benefits or something like that, as far as a discipline is concerned, seek out third-party support. Have some mentoring time, some coaching time. Obviously at Humoriso, right, we've got all kinds of awesome consultants that are there, but I'm sure you can slide Jackie a Wawa gift card and she'll talk to you for 10 minutes. Like something. Why? What is the matter with Wawa?
I'm just, because you know we ain't got Wawa.
I know it'll force you to come over to this side.
It'll force me to go to the place.
Yeah. Todd, we have to buy airfare because I have a $10 Wawa gift card. I have to go use.
Right. We're already going last week. We're going to a birthday party right before HR Tech. We're going to a birthday party in Atlanta because he was like, "You're out of control."
Yes.
I was like, "Yeah, you know." And then we can go to Publix. The whole thing is because I want that tender sandwich.
Oh, you got that those pub sub with the tender sandwich. That's so funny. You're saying that. Brock that works at Humoriso, that's he's obsessed with that.
They are so good.
Vero Beach corporate office for Humoriso, 0.6 miles to the Publix. And so they go and grab their pub subs and bring them back here. And yes.
And again, Scott Singer is here, not a sponsor, but the best resume writer ever of all time. So like
of all time.
Better than Mr. Resume.
But not better than Mr. Microphone.
Better than Mr. Microphone.
Hey, thank you, Amy. We'll put it back up. Jack, can you share the webinar again?
Yes.
And I saw that there was, did I just see a travel coffee mug that came up? The Buffer's Coffee
travel coffee mug. Where did it go? Hold on. Here it is.
Look at that bad boy.
I love it. I was like, how do I get one of these mugs?
I love this. With a handle.
With a handle.
We spared no expense, everybody.
Can you put one with our faces on it? I'm just kidding. But I want you to draw it. That's what we'll do. Next week, we'll draw each other, and then that will be on the mug.
Okay, for those of you who follow me on LinkedIn, please go to connect. Go to my page. And the link will be there for the webinar today at 1:00 as well. So if you want to join,
and we'll do a better job of sharing where we are.
We stink. This is why.
Why do we even use this thing?
Oh, Kai, we love everybody. Thank you all so much for being here today. We hope this got you inspired, not only just to have fun, but also some of the business responsibilities that you have. We've got so much.
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
What are you doing?
I'm clicking things, and I'm trying to not click any of the things.
You can't help yourself. It's that OCD. Click. I know.
All right.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.